on social media platforms and
Today is special. Today is special. Excuse me. For those of you who, hi,
how are you? I'm adding you right in here. Here we go. Hi, Raquel. So glad that you're here.
And mute that right there. So I'm so glad that you're here. So some of you are watching from Facebook. Some of you are joining live. And I'm honored and thrilled out of my mind that you're here because today's special. Today, we're going to talk about you and your next level worthiness. We're going to talk about what this means to be a woman today who allows herself to put down the masks, put down the veil, put down the shoulds, have tos, want tos, all the things. And just today, I want to encourage you and I want to invite you into just being present. I'm going to put this on just, here we go. What I want to do is, which some of you did it now. Love my jewelry. Who here loves my jewelry? I'd love to hear it. Look, you know, sometimes I love like nature jewelry, right? Natural jewelry. And then sometimes I like the others. And I guess they're all natural, right? They're all natural. So good morning. Grab your cup of coffee. For those of you who are live on Zoom, hey, I want to prepare you for what we're going to be doing because I'm going to ask for you to be brave enough to allow me to coach you live. If you don't want to, it's fine. But I think you should. I will say should. I think you should. I think you should allow. I think you should learn to allow yourself to receive what it would be like to be coached live right now, you and me, although this is broadcast. Because what I do know is what's personal is universal, and you showing up here in this space, in this time right now, there's something you need. And I know if you need it, your peers, your colleagues, the other women who are watching and will be watching this will gain from that. So I want to encourage you to be brave because I know it's a little like, meh. So who do we have here? If you're on Facebook, I would love for you to go ahead and put in the comments wherever you're watching this on Facebook. Please share, like say hello, hi Mary, this is where I'm coming in from. And for those of you who are in our Zoom room, please go into the chat area and tell me who's present. Tell me what it is that you want to receive today. Hi, Alexandra. I see Lori. I see Rebecca. I see Priscilla and Opal and Chelsea. I see Raquel and Susan. And wherever you are, let me ask you this. This is my ask of you. Hi, Lori. If you're watching this on Facebook, share this to your personal page. Share this knowing that your community of people on your friend page, your family, your friend, the other women, share this in a place that you hang out online. Today, I promise you're going to hear things you've never heard before. I promise that you are going to be experiencing yourself in a different way. So share this inside a group that you're in, inside, I'm letting people into the Zoom room. If you want to join us in the Zoom area, then let me know. I will also put the Zoom link in a Facebook comment so that you can see it. But share this. Who do you know right now who needs to hear something? Who do you know right now that needs to be uplifted to reach her next level, that she is desiring something more, and she wants something more because she knows it's available to her, not because she's mired in her misery, not because she's stuck in her stuckness, but because she recognizes that there's more within and she wants to go to the next level, and she wants to learn the skills and the ahas. She wants to have an aha today. So I'd love for you to share that. I'm going to go back over to Zoom and grab that Zoom link, and I will put that right now into our into the Facebook groups, so that for those of you who are like, oh my God, I want to be able to I want to be able to show up. I'm going to go ahead and do that right now for you. So some of you did not register yet. And hi, Susan from Los Angeles. Here is your Zoom link for those of you. It's the registration. You have to register and then you'll get it in the email. So hurry up and get that done. Hi, Carol. So how many of you, let's just jump right in. Are you ready? Ready? I'm going back over to the Zoom people so I can see nods and yeses. And let me see, Lori's here, Rebecca, Chelsea from Connecticut. Is it snowing in Connecticut? Hi, Blessy. Is it snowing in Connecticut? There's a couple places around the world that it's snowing right now.
It is not snowing in Connecticut.
It is not.
At least where I am.
Got it. I'm headed to a spa soon, and I looked at the weather and it's just twinkling, a little bit of snow. It's just going to be me. Here's a next level thing for you. I want you to ponder this concept. How often do you allow yourself the space to go away somewhere? Now, it doesn't have to be, I'm going to an amazing spa. I cannot, what you need to be on my Instagram and follow me. Frankly, this is the truth behind the scenes with the business piece. It's like, that spa has inspired me to like really tackle and master Instagram. So please, I'm going to be going and posting some pictures, not live. Don't do that live. I've heard don't do that live on Instagram. Anyhow, here's the next level piece of this puzzle. How often do you allow yourself the space to go somewhere to think? How many of you have think time? Right? That you truly carve out time for yourself to think. Think about what you want, think about your goals, think about your dreams, think about your desires. I prepped with some notes. Do you love my new journal? Do you love the new journal? How many of you have a beautiful journal that inspires you? I literally just bought this yesterday. Oh, there's a journal. Oh, there you go. Show me your journals. Those of you who are here and you've got your journals and I can see it. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, that's good. I see Lori. This journal said, my brilliant musings, I love you, Mary. How many of you write in your journal from a space of loving one's self, loving yourself? Now, do I have like my notebook with all like the to-dos? Yes, I do, right? So I've got this, I bought this yesterday. It's like, what about doing a few little things for yourself? And of course I do have a regular old spiral because sometimes I just want to totally brain dump and then I like to beautifully organize it. How many of you give yourself the opportunity for small luxuries? Today, one of the things we're going to talk about is next level you, and we're going to talk about next level worthiness, and we're going to talk about, my business. For those of you who are still new to me, hi, I'm Mary Bicknell. So what I do is I work with women and help them create a big, bold life and biz. And I frequently talk about business, you guys, because I'm all about you earning enough money to release yourself of any stress. My business is all about you having emotional, time, and financial freedom. Why? Because why the hell not? There's plenty. There's plenty. You having more does not mean Sally Jane has less, my friends. I heard this the other day about this analogy. It's like, think about this. For those of you who are still in a place of growing your wealth consciousness, growing your abundance consciousness, growing your worthiness consciousness, I want to ask you the question, like, if you think about, oh my God, if I have more, other people have less. I want you to think about it. How logical is that? Think about it from this perspective. If you get sick, that means other people won't get sick. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, right? You having more of things can only add more. When you have more to give. We are not thinking in the direction of lack and limitation. We're thinking in the direction of abundance and overflow and receiving. So back to my journaling this morning. it was really looking at some of these concepts that I wanted to talk to you about as far as where do you lean into being able to receive? Where do you lean into your worthiness? I want to ask you, where do you lean into your true passions in life? And if you don't recall what those true passions are, that should be a bell ringing so crystal clear in your heart and your mind and your soul that that is something that needs to be addressed. What lights you up? What calls to you from within? So some of you know, so back to being bold. So I talk so much about bold, having a bold business, right? And that stands for me as an acronym, like a brave, outgoing leader, deciding to like make a big difference and a big profit. But bold living, what about your bold living? For me, it really is about beauty and overflow and luxury and divine desires. When is the last time you gave into your passions or your desires? And I know for some of you, you're like, you don't remember what the hell they are. I want to encourage you today. I want you to write this down as a bold action right now so that you don't lose it by the end of this call today. I want to ask you, when is the last time you allowed yourself to have beauty? When was the last time you allowed yourself to recognize that you want overflow in your life? When was the last time you defined what luxury means for you? And when was the last time you gave yourself, hear it again, ready? You gave yourself permission to feel into your divine desires. See, I'm a strong believer, and if you want it, if you have to have it, it's already there for you. If you can think it, if you can imagine it, it is only because you're capable of attaining it. I don't believe that we are given these ideas, these pulls, these like tugs, these pushes from the universe to things that we are not able to achieve or not able to be. Who wants to share? Good morning, good morning. Who wants to share, like what would that even mean for you to show up from a place of beauty and overflow and luxury and divine desires? How many of you are just like, whoa, it's too early. It's too early in the day for that conversation, right? Let me share this. Oh, here's the registration, by the way. Right now, if you are on Facebook, make sure you're sharing this on your personal page. Share this now with someone that you love and you care about, and an amazing woman who needs to hear how to have a bold life and embrace her worthiness. I just shared the link in there. Go share it. Share it. That you can actually share this live right now. Who wants to share, by the way? Who wants to share what their thoughts are when I say divine desires? Or who wants to share what it means to them, luxury? What comes up for you? And if you're on Zoom, I'm specifically asking you to think about this so I can bring you on if you choose to be brave today. And if you and you not coming live does not mean you're not brave. It just means that you have some more thinking to do. But if you're available to it, I'd love to be able to have you live on Zoom and coach you through this and be an example and be a witness for your colleagues. In the meantime, let me pop, and if that's you, please raise your hand or pop it in the chat. Hey, Mary, I'm willing. Nicole says, questions to ponder for Mary. Oh, thank you for typing this in. I recognize the last time you allowed yourself. Thank you, Nicole, for sharing that, for popping that in. And if you are watching this on my business page, can you type business page? If you're watching it from our group, our free Facebook group, I'd love to see that too, just so I can see where's everybody coming from. That's what's so fun. Who here on Zoom is open to sharing what came up for them on this next level bold living. Chelsea, go ahead and unmute yourself. Thank you for being available.
So I think for me, the first thing that comes up is not so much when was the last time, but why haven't I allowed myself the time to think about those things? And I think for me, a lot of it is like shame and like feeling bad for wanting those things and like that abundance that you talk about and feeling like there isn't enough for me. So I take what I can get. And I think a lot of times as women, we fall into that like condition of there's not enough for you. Like you take what's there, you do what you can, and that's it. Like you don't go for more. And
So let's ask, let me stop you. Thank you. Let's ask the question, what if there was more than enough for you?
well, I think it starts with me believing that first.
And so what do you need to believe to believe?
Well, I think I have to let go of fear,
And what are you afraid of?
failing.
Well, what does failure even look like?
Well, I logically, I know it's a part of
It's
success.
not logic. Let's try and like, there's two things that are great, right? We want to have our logical brain because that really helps us in attaining a lot of results. And yet there's another part of us. So let's tap in today for this conversation about that bold living, that worthiness, that's next level. Let's tap into our intuition. Let's tap into our inner knowing and not the logical piece. Let's tap in, all of you. Tap in right now to the feeling that she's sharing, because I know you all are feeling the vibration of that. So thank you for being open. So tell me, not from a logical place, from an emotional feeling place. What do you need to believe about failure so that you are open to receiving more?
I need to believe in myself. I need to believe that I can do it. I can't be fearful of what other people think about it, what other people think about me. And I think that's what holds me back.
So there's two things there. Did you hear both of them?
Yeah.
Tell me what they are so everybody else catches it.
What other people think about me, and I don't know, maybe just that one.
What you
Stuck out
think
to me.
about you.
What I think about me.
Right? So the thing that we know is, one of the things I teach about is blind spots. And one of our biggest blind spots we know is the judgment, a fear of judgment of other people. The other blind spot that so frequently we don't recognize is so impactful is our own belief in ourselves and our fear of judging ourselves. So let me ask you, from the perspective of, if you judged yourself about failure, what does that sound like to you, Chelsea, in your Chelsea head?
It sounds like it's not enough. You're not doing enough. This isn't going to work. Sounds like that. Sounds like doubt.
It sounds like doubt. How many of you resonate with what she's saying, so that you can support your sister, your friend, your peer, your colleague here, so that everybody and on Facebook. So who here resonates with what she's saying about it feels and sounds like self-doubt? And so what if our natural state of growth is questioning sometime? What if our natural state of growth is in that moment that we actually have to recognize we don't know what the next thing is all the time? And part of belief and faith is knowing that no matter what, it'll work out. How often in your life do you live from a place of, I know it will work out?
I actually live there quite frequently. I've been in survival mode since I was 17. So I live there a lot. Do I believe it? I don't know. I don't know.
Well, this is what I think too. I heard you say is, I've been living in survival mode from the age of 17, but I believe that it always works out. So now your choice is, what is the benefit to you to keep holding on to even that language that you just gave me, survival modes from 17? How old are you?
28.
Okay, so for 11 years, and for many of you, it's 1 year, 10 years, 20 years, 50, well, maybe not 50 years, those in my audience, right? But, you know, for years, decades, what is the benefit of you holding on to, like, you're holding on to survival? I survived. And this is not at all saying anything about women overcoming and growing, but it's more about holding on to this concept of that I'm in survival mode and I know it will work out. Well, these feel contradictory. Like, this is holding you back when here is where you want to go. You said you know where you can go. You said that you have belief many times, and yet you still have fear of failure. And how many times have you failed?
Haven't really.
That's the point. How beautiful is that? So tell me, from this moment, right? You're in the, like, I'm afraid of failing, and yet I haven't failed. They feel very contradictory. What are you seeing about that for yourself?
That I'm the barrier.
So if you're the barrier, and that's fine, right? So what if you allowed yourself right now, I want you all that are resonating with her, I want you all to take a breath right now and imagine the barrier that you have around yourself. And that's actually the barrier that you have put up because you were designed to keep yourself safe. This is normal. We are normal. This is the way our brain works. Brains do not like change, right? So what would it be like to right now, physically, in your mind's eye, I want you all to be surrounded by concrete blocks or beautiful bricks. And I want you to reach out and grab one of those bricks and just toss it away. Toss it away, toss it away, toss it away, unpack it, mentally build that barrier. What is it that you haven't been seeing on the other side of the barrier? So Chelsea, I want you to, in your mind's eye, start disassembling that barrier brick by brick. And what's on the other side of that you haven't been seeing because your wall is so high?
There's so much. There's actual self-love. There's actual self-confidence. And what I mean by that is not just like the idea of it that I want other people to see so that they think something, but actually feeling that. And powerful, and just being powerful.
Yes. So what would it be like right now if you decided to powerfully be confident and love yourself?
It'd be scary.
And what would be scary about it?
I have to let go of perceived judgment.
And whose perceived judgment?
Everyone else around me.
Right. And so we talked about the blind spot of fear of judgment of other people. So when other people around you, and so everybody knows too, I want you to know too, that this is so very common. This is why I call it the number one blind spot of women, right? Our fear of judgment of other people, because we are conditioned. So first, like, we're also conditioned just as human beings to be vigilant and aware of what's going on around us, because that's how we stay safe, right? That's how we used to not get eaten by like whatever in the wild. And today, biologically, we don't need to do that anymore. But the feeling inside, that fear, flight, or fight mode still gets triggered. And so what happens is we need to be on that higher consciousness and that higher level of thinking, meaning that we have to be connected with our passion, our desire, or what we really want, so that is what is conscious. So when those moments of fear, anxiety, that uncomfortable in our bodies show up, we can discern what it is. So let me ask you, from the place of wanting what you want, on the other side of that brick wall is power, self-love, self-confidence on that next level. If you showed up like that, how is it that anyone can even touch that fear, trigger that fear? If you showed up with that as your elevated consciousness every day, even if you don't know 100% how everything's going to work out, and nobody knows that, we have pathways, and I can help you and other people can help you. But the first help is what would be different about your feared judgment of all of the other Sally Sues in your life if you literally sat down in the morning with a morning routine and said, my darling, my wonderful, my sweetheart, today we're stepping into our power. We're allowing for deep confidence and reverence for loving ourselves. What would happen when somebody says something?
That's the thing. I don't think anybody would say anything. I think that it's me, and it's also knowing that you're stepping into that too. You then have to keep that up, right? And like, it's also being afraid of failure, being afraid of judgment, but sometimes also being afraid of success and what that means and what you have to do to keep that going, and how accountable you have to hold yourself, and how much that means growth and not staying complacent and not being comfortable. And I think that also is scary.
Oh my God. I know you're not in one of my courses, correct?
No.
How many of you are in one of my courses and she's literally going down the blind spots, the top 5 blind spots? I teach this in the Big Bold Life and Biz Plan, you guys. It's like, I swear I didn't plant her. I didn't plant you, right? Some of my clients are on here and they're like, oh my God, I'm telling you, this is like proof in the pudding that this is the truth. This is who we are as women. What's personal is universal. So how you're feeling, other people feel it. That's why, thank you again for sharing. So let's get back to this. This is one of the things that I understand, right? It's these hierarchies. It's like fear of judgment. What are people going to think? And then it's fear of failure or success, which I believe is the same, is one coin, different sides. So this is what we fear. It's like we fear that we're going to be so successful that eventually we're going to fucking fail at that because it's not sustainable, right? So my question becomes, how are you, this is, pay attention, all of you, pay attention. From a place of the woman who continues to grow and is successful and has those proven successes over and over, what is her belief about her ability to have successes over and over? I'm asking you, Chelsea. I'm sorry.
Sorry. That they're limited, it's going to run out.
Is it? Who else here feels like it's going to run out? What's going to run out? Your successes?
My ability to maintain them.
And what's the proof of that? See, when you have quote things like that, it's that you've that your brain is seeking past proof for that. What is the proof that you fail? You told me earlier that you don't.
There is no proof so far, but it's me catastrophizing it and thinking that it can happen and trying to prepare myself for it happening so that if it does.
So what would failure look like? So you're riding high on success. Oh my God, life is good. Life is good. You're doing whatever. You're singing your song. You're living your life. You're making money. You have great relationships, blah, 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 blah. You have beauty and overflow and luxury and divine desires. And you're a leader in your own community, whatever community that is for you with your own clients or what have you. And what's failure? What does that even look like?
I don't know.
That's exactly the point. What does success look like?
Everything that you just described. But I also think that when you have a certain amount of success, or you feel like you have this abundance of success, whatever failure comes along, it doesn't necessarily stand up to that. So it doesn't really take the wind out of your sails.
So why were you selling me so hard on your fear of success and failure?
Because it just, it overwhelms me, like it takes over.
Mm-hmm. So here's my assignment for you and for all of you listening. it's really today, I'm going to walk you through this exercise. And this is about, again, about tapping into the next level of your being and recognizing that you must be that woman who is not afraid. And that it's defining things for yourself. So I want you all to take a really big deep breath right now and imagine this wherever you're listening to this. And if you're watching the replay, thank you, and put a comment and share. And those of you watching live, please do this and then share what's experiencing for you. So I want you to imagine exactly what Chelsea was talking about for yourself, about that fear of judgment, that you have grown so big in divine, and that all the divine desires of your heart are now in front of you. And you're basking in it, and you're loving yourself, and you're confident, and you're powerful, and you consciously are choosing more from the state of having succeeded with attainment of more. And you recognize you have learned the truth that there is more than enough and there is overflow, and you having more means you have more to give. And that is repeatable and sustainable because it's a state of being. And I want you to imagine that you are on wherever your favorite, most divine place is. It's on a mountain, it's hiking, it's in a resort, it's at a spa, it's at a beach. It's wherever your heart would sing. And you're sitting there and you're enjoying it, and you're enjoying, and you're present, you're conscious, and you're grateful for what you have attained to be there. And then you look up and a woman is walking towards you. And she rings so familiar, but you can't quite see her. You see the silhouette of her as she walks towards you. And she walks with confidence. And she walks with the knowing of a woman who knows herself, and she knows that she knows that she knows. And as she moves forward, oh my, you recognize her because she is you 5 years from now. She is the you 5 years from now. She is the embodiment of what you're seeking to attain today. And she comes and sits next to you and she says, "Hello, my dear. Everything is fine. Everything is good. Everything is more than good. I have learned what you don't know. I know that I know that I know, and I am imparting this wisdom to you in this moment." And I want you to ask her, what do I need to know today to become you? What do I need to know today to become you? And what does she say? And ask her, what else do I need to know? What is the very next step that I need to take today? And ask her, is there anything else? And she smiles and she looks at you and she gives you this one last beautiful piece of truth. What is that? And you allow for her to reach in and embrace you. And she whispers, "All is well, my love." Because you love yourself. And so she's acknowledging that to you right now. And she gets up and she walks away, and you sit there in that beautiful divine place that you are, and basking in the knowing that your future self has gifted you. And take a deep breath and another. And open your eyes. And I would love for one of you to share what your gift was, one gift. And Chelsea, I want to start with you since you were open. to
Well, that made me emotional. So I'm still like on that wave.
That's beautiful. And this is an exercise that you can do again and again.
I would say, I mean, the thing that just stuck out to me is just as simple as it sounds, is just stop being afraid. Just stop being scared. There's nothing to be afraid of at
Yes.
all.
There's nothing to be afraid of. So what do you need to do? What can I encourage you to do today to find something that can be a visceral, physical, and visual anchor for you? And this is all of you. I want to encourage you. So let me show you some of the things personally that I have in my world that anchor me to what I want. Now, I know this is crazy, but this is my dead cat's ashes. This is Ladybug. Her name was Ladybug. I have ladybugs around me. So I have these God moments when I see a ladybug. It instantly snaps me into remembering who I am, remembering what it is that I desire. So I've learned to snap myself out of those moments which also we have to acknowledge is truth, that are fear. What is it, Chelsea, that you could pull, that you could grab, that you could put in your space? And I also have other things, guys, in my space. I have this, I have my former business card to remind me how I've grown. I have this beautiful bookmark. You know, I have little things here in front of me to remind me who I am and who I want to be. What's one thing, and I'm going to ask Chelsea first, and then I'll ask whoever else wants to share. What's one thing that you could put around you so you get connected with this remembering your future self, telling you there's no fear, my dear?
Well, something that I have, like in my office, I have at work, I have things that have proved I've accomplished things. So similar to like your business card, I have like a basketball championship ring. I have stuff for softball. I have stuff from grad school. I've graduated. Like, so it consistently shows me that like there's always been something. You've always gone through something, but you've always come out on the other end. You've always achieved. You can do it. And at one point, you know, you are where you are right now. At one point, you wanted to be in this place, and just
Exactly. That's beautiful. So you've created your own altar. Thank you for sharing that. And so do you, this will be the last thing for you, is like, how has this helped you this morning?
Well, it's wonderful to know that I'm not the only one that feels this way. That's number one. I think being able to say it and put it out there and say that I'm afraid breaks down, takes away that brick a little bit, one of those bricks. You know, I've put it out there. I know that it's not a thing other than what I create it to be. So what do I do now to move past that? What do I do now to move forward from that? It's real now. I've always kept that in. So
thank you so much for having it be real now and letting it go. And I appreciate that you are open and available to receiving today, because I know I'm so thrilled that it was of value to you, and I know all of your peers and everyone who will be watching this. So thank you. Who here relates to everything that she has been saying? Yes, yes. So we have your nods, and we have people on Facebook, and of course in our chat. Thank you. This is how I want to leave you all today. Is I want you to recognize that you have this truth within you, this next level living, this bold living. You get the opportunity of your lifetime to choose what that looks like for you, to choose why you're showing up, how you're showing up, what that looks like, to choose to recognize that when you have your wall up, to protect yourself from the outside and your fear of judgment to others, you are blocking the view of what's possible for your own self. And the only way that you will ever have what's on the other side of the wall, which you innately know you want, is by disassembling it, taking that wall down, allowing yourself to see the possibilities. And if that means using this exercise that we just did to connect, remember, she is on the other side of that wall. That future self you just spoke with, that lovingly embraced you, she has broken that wall down. She has disassembled it. She is on the other side. So you will break the wall down. It's just when you will allow yourself to make a decision to do that. And my hope and wish for you is that today is that day that you are pulling that wall down. So moving forward, every day, your job, your goal, your need, what you have to do is connect with her and connect with this part of you every single day. So not only is it from like that spiritual connection, also psychologically, we know habituated thinking has put you where you are right now. We know this. This is not news, that your thoughts can become so habituated that there has to be a moment of breaking that. And if we know that your habits have created what you've gotten, that results, and we'll do the results formula again another day, that is so great news, so that you know that on a logical level, the thoughts that I've had created my emotion, fear, or exhilaration or motivation that have created my actions, my behaviors, my inaction or my action, and created my results. You know this on a logical level. Now allow yourself to embrace that and give yourself permission to be self-empowered to reach the next level, saying, if I created this, then I can create everything I want. If I've created the things I know I don't really want anymore, I'm like so done with this. Oh my God, that's so freeing. Then you can create what you truly want. So your job today is think about, many of you have been in my program. So we've talked about, right, creating a big, bold life and biz. And what does bold mean, especially when it comes to your business? And as I've said, a brave, outgoing leader. I'm leading, deciding to make a big difference and a big profit. You create whatever bold for your business that you want. And then for your life, bold living. Beauty, mind, beauty, overflow, luxury, divine desires. That's your work every day, to stay connected to that, so that a week doesn't go by, a year doesn't go by, weeks, months, lifetimes go by, and you've not allowed and given to yourself. So today I want you to give yourself, I'm asking you to give yourself permission to give to yourself from that state of knowing that you know and trusting. I see nods. I see yeses. I'd love some other feedback before I end this morning. Who else wants to share in the comments in our Zoom area? Who here wants to say how this resonated with you? Is it scary to share?
It is a little bit scary to share, but that practice of seeing myself walk up to myself 5 years, seeing myself 5 years later walk up to myself, it was also very emotional for me. It was so powerful. Like I got goosebumps at the beginning and then I got emotional about it. And she did tell me, she was like, just keep going, trust yourself. And before you even said, for her to tell me that she loved me, that's what she whispered in my ear. That was the last thing that she said to me. And it was just like, it was beautiful. So being able to do that practice now this morning was so powerful for me.
Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. It's available. She's available anytime, all the time. She is you, you are her. Anyone else want to comment before we go today? Let me see. Thanks for sharing, Chelsea. We have comments over here on our Facebook page. saying how much this was beneficial, how beautiful. That's wonderful, everyone. So I want to leave you today to go bask in the glory of this moment and experience, and know that, you know, I'm going to be sharing more about this coaching methodology, about the woo, about, I want to not only coach all of you for this. This is so vitally important for my own growth, for my own expansion, to show up doing all the things that I do in my own life behind the scenes that I know I don't share as frequently as I plan on and want to. And that includes whether it's business or whether it's mindset and this type of coaching, you know, and definitely within my program, I have another program coming out that is weaving all these things together so that you can experience this growth and that you can learn the art of giving that and doing this with your own clients and other people that mean something to you. My goal is to be the example to you of what is so possible to create a big, bold life in biz. My goal is to put my own wall down, my own wall that has, although it's pretty beautiful in here, you know, there's always the next place. Sometimes the truth is, before you know it, you've created something. So it's not about failure, it's about expansion, right? It's about the next level. Remember, whenever you have that moment of thinking, oh, could I fail? It's really, that's that moment of next levelness, right? If we always look at at growth and never think of failing as like anything less than like a gift to learn how to move forward. Because I mean, so if I like wrote down all my successes, it would be plenty. And if I wrote down all of the things that people could decide would go under a failure category, oh my God, it would be plentiful. It would be plentiful. That's the list though I look at mostly to grow. Right? I want to repeat success, but you know what? Like this is a really important concept. And then I like, obviously I could talk to you all about this all day. The concept here about sustaining success, like in a way, you've got to like break that down too. This is one of the things we'll talk about another day. We don't really, is like, that is not even accurate. Sustaining success means you're stagnant. True success is growth. So if you're sustaining success, you're not growing. And I know if you're in this community, you want to grow, you want to elevate yourself, you want the next level. Is that correct? What do you think about that? Who has a mind blown? And you can just comment later. Who's mind blown at the thought of sustained success is stagnation, which is truly actually the antithesis of success? Right? Who's like, holy shit, what did she just say? Did she just say something? Sustained success, stagnation could almost go right over into the failure category. So when you allow yourself to know that you will always, if you choose, if you decide that growth is a core value, growth is your birthright, growth is what is expected, growth is what is all around us in nature, that you need to continue to grow. And once you have a success, like ride it, celebrate it, and know the next success is coming. Enjoy the day. Bye, everyone.